Review on the study of supply chain management strategy and practices on supply chain performance. Abstract. The purpose of this analysis is to explore the connection between provide chain management strategy and chain management practices on provide chain performance. Also, it aims at assessing the amount of awareness and understanding of provide chain management ideas and practices. The most tools of knowledge assortment instrument used was a form that was administrated to a complete sample of 200 managers area unit classified by job title and respondents classified by their job functions or executive, purchasing, manufacturing/production, distribution/logistic, SCM, transportation, material, and operation from pun producing business. The info were analyzed exploitation mean, variance and correlation between freelance and dependent variables. The analyses concerned applied mathematics ways like dependableness and validity tests and multiple regressions. For review of this thesis we are going numerous research papers study. Keywords chain management, SCM. Introduction. Supply chain has become a vital focus of competitive advantage for organization business. The management of offer chain study emphasizes the way to maximize the price of the firm by higher exploitation and preparation of resources across the full of the firm. A offer chain is that the set of value-adding activities connecting the enterprise's suppliers and its customers. The principle of offer chain activity is receiving input from firms' suppliers add price delivered to customers. Levi et al., 2004. A offer chain encompasses all the parties that concerned, directly or indirectly, in fulfilling a client request. The availability chain includes manufacturer, suppliers, transporters, warehouses, retailers, and even customers themselves. Among every organization, like a manufacturer, the availability chain includes all operate concerned in receiving and filling a client request. These functions includes new development, marketing, operation, distribution, finance, client service, and alternative operate that associated with serving client request. Chopra and Meindl, 2007. Effective offer chain management is vital to make and sustain competitive advantage in product and services of the corporations. Gunasekaran and Guy, 2004, Sufyan, 2010, explicit that the performance of offer chain was influenced by managing and disaggregation key part of data into their offer chain. To realize effective offer chain integration, the corporations have to be compelled to implement info technology. Hanfield. Nichols 1999, Sufyan, 2010. Brandeis et al., 1999, instructed that by exploitation technology of data, the corporations may managing the flow and impact of various offer chains dimension like quality, cost, flexibility, delivery, and profit. Burt and Davidson, 2003, found that info technology impact the availability chain effectiveness. They explicit that the event and long-run utilization of data technology result in higher firm performance in terms of comeback on investment, ROI, comeback on equity, ROI, and market share. Vickery et al., 2003, showed that offer chain coordination and integration is expedited by exploitation integrated info technology that directly impacts the monetary performance of the corporations. According to Sufyan, 2010, to realize a competitive advantage and higher performance, offer chain management strategy won't support the business strategy. The aim of the study to seek out the result of offer chain management strategy like lean offer chain, agile offer chain, and hybrid offer chain on offer chain performance. This study conjointly investigates the result of offer chain management practices in terms of strategic provider partnership, client relationship, and data sharing on offer chain performance. The paper is organized as follows. Relevant literature is reviewed and synthesized first to develop an abstract model, followed by analysis methodology. The results square measure then conferred at the site of discussion. Conclusion and implication square measure mentioned finally. 2. Literature review. Flexibly chain the executives has unquestionably become a significant segment for the benefit of any association. It is critical to feature that there has been late improvement in the flexibly chain the board. Karami and Rafi, 2014, distinguished that the latest advancements in gracefully chain the board fuse sharing of data innovation, reappropriating rehearses, provider association and persistent cycle stream. The SCM rehearses rotate around buying, client relations, and creation of value items to improve association center capabilities. Moreover, the utilization of frameworks, for example, the ADIS, which are fundamentally inter-organization frameworks, has become a pervasive practice about SCM just as the inclination to wipe out overabundant stock levels by deferring customization towards the finish of the flexibly chain. Karami and Rafi, 2014, further clarifies that the center parts of gracefully chain the executives can be recognized through factor examination which involves the attributes of the flexibly chain, gracefully chain combination, the board of client care, capacities of without a moment to spare stock frameworks and sharing of data. The connection between the provider and the purchaser is estimated utilizing cross-practical groups, levels of correspondence, the length of the relationship and the inclusion of the provider in the flexibly chain. Some different highlights clear inside the flexibly chain, for example, participation, measure coordination, sharing of dangers and returns and agreeing on the gracefully chain authority portray the gracefully chain the board rehearses as being outfitted towards accomplishing an association's objectives and improving the general association execution. Further appraisal by Karami and Rafi, 2014, show that the flexibly chain the board rehearses spread different sides of the gracefully chain. Vital associations with providers covers the upstream and client relations spread the downstream. The part of stream of data all through the gracefully chain targets distinguishing the degree and the nature of the common data while the inward flexibly chain measure focuses on delay in the flexibly chain. Note that these segments of the flexibly chain can't be viewed as definitive given the dynamic idea of the gracefully chains and advancing strategic approaches. Abdallah et al., 2014, found that gracefully chain the board positively affects an association's execution in upper hand. They further features that the gracefully chain the board rehearses don't just influence the adaptability execution yet the degrees of yield and the exhibition of the assets accessible inside the association. Moreover, they showed that adjacent to client relations, all different parts of the flexibly chain the executives emphatically influence the presentation of the gracefully chain. As per Dive et al., 2015, due consideration with respect to the provider influences the component of provider organization. Green buying is a moderately new idea and an extra component to the flexibly chain the board. It involves the propensity of an association to evaluate the practices embraced by their providers and their activities to guarantee that they protect the climate. Under gracefully chain the executives, green buying is characterized as the ecological plan set somewhere near an association to guarantee a consistent receipt of long-haul material and framework prerequisites. Additionally, Dive et al., 2014, proposed that eco-planning and item bundling impacts the connections inside the flexibly chain. This idea necessitates that providers or makers embrace item plans that lessen the utilization of materials and energy. This implies that a portion of the purchasers will be slanted to draw in providers who practice this in the flexibly chain. Considering the developing patterns of utilization of eco-accommodating items and utilization of eco-friendly energizes, execution of the eco-plans and bundling may bring about improved execution of the flexibly chain and the association all in all. As per Saberi, 2015. Material warehousing influences the nature and execution of the gracefully chain and flexibly chain the board. In the executives of the materials necessities, administrators target guaranteeing proficiency in taking care of requests, lessening overabundances and incapable stock levels and decreasing the time need to advertise. An exploration featured in this article demonstrated that the markers of stock levels, that is, crude materials, last yield and the volume of capacity, and the time needed for stock turnover and taking care of requests have a positive relationship with the gracefully chain the board rehearses inside an association. These parts of flexibly chain the board have been in application for some time. However, the idea of green gracefully chain the executives as talked about by DIBTAL, 2015, might be considered as being moderately new. Discoveries featured in the article by DIBTAL, 2015, recommend that execution of the green gracefully the board brings about progress of natural execution and improvement of an association's financial and operational exhibition. The appropriate components of flexibly chain the executives rehearses must be clung to so as to acknowledge positive execution in the gracefully chain. The customary space of the data framework system is to improve the proficiency and viability of associations. Backus and Treacy, 1986 referred to in Sufyan, 2010. Duke, 1989, Sufyan, 2010, contended that the data sharing procedure ought to start from the business methodology. This implies that data innovation ought to encourage executing the business procedure, whatever that business methodology is, and help accomplish its objectives. Gracefully chain the executives rehearses envelope set of approaches and practices that adequately incorporate with providers, makes, merchants, and clients to improve the drawn-out business execution in their flexibly chain. Chopra and Meendal, 2007, Tseng 2010. In this examination, gracefully chain the board rehearses are characterized as a few of the executives' exercises that purpose to improve the flexibly chain execution. Lee et al., 2006, Wang et al., 2005, Zhou and Benton, 2007, Koh et al., 2007, Sufyan, 2010. Key provider associations need better coordination between the association and its providers. Organizations will in general have a drawn-out relationship with providers that make esteem. In this examination, a vital provider association is characterized as the drawn-out connection between the association and its providers which impacts the key and operational abilities of individual partaking organizations to assist them with accomplishing critical continuous advantages. Lee et al., 2005, Lee et al., 2006, Monchka et al., 1998. A key provider association incorporate purchasing merchandise and enterprises from providers and affecting the provider's framework and operational capacities, including esteem and improving the flexibly chain execution. Monchka et al., 1998 Sufyan, 2010. Conclusion. The most necessary issue that visaged by organizations is implement the strategy to structure practices. Analysis findings show that offer chain management strategy is that the weak relationship to provide chain performance. However, the strategic that has been developed by prime management ought to be enforced in structure practices. To effectively managing the provision chain, organizations have to be compelled to adopt acceptable provide chain methods and to provide management chain practices. Effective provide chain management is vital determinant to assembling and sustaining competitive advantage within the marketplace. This study conjointly showed that the robust predictor of provide chain performance square measure strategic provider partnership, client relationship, and knowledge sharing. It ought to be noted that the provide the availability the provision chain management strategy that not enforced into supply chain management practices cannot generate the provision chain performance. The analysis finding shows that so as to try and do thus, there's a necessity to integrate provide chain management strategy into provide chain management practices.